they don't want to, have these nuclear verdicts in Canada, but they do want to put the person that he or she was in before the accident in the same position. So they want to still serve justice, but they know they need to have consistency across Canada.
We're talking about nuclear verdicts today. We're going to talk to lawyer Steve Grover about this on today's Ask the Lawyers. Steve, thanks for being here today.
Hi, Christine. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, you as well. So, the big question, what in fact is a nuclear verdict? Can you explain it?
Well, I mean, I was born during the Cold War, raised during the Cold War. When we're talking about nuclear verdicts, it's not about nuclear war between the Soviet Union and the United States. It's more of these big judgments that come out by way of jury trials in the U.S. on trucking cases, medical malpractice claims, auto cases, product liability, where you're probably in excess of $50 to $100 million per judgment. And I've got this book here called Nuclear Verdicts by Robert Tyson Jr., written by the well-known defense lawyer in California. I'm in the process of reading it, but it's just where these judgments have pretty much got out of control in the U.S., according to the insurance companies and defense lawyers practicing in the United States.
Right, that's in the United States. Remind us, how much can somebody be awarded in Canada for an injury?
Well, in Canada, we have a system that's probably a little bit more kind of in control compared to the US, because you do have these juries that sometimes by emotion they get weighed on punitive damages or aggravated damages, and they award a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars. We do have a case from the 1970s, the trilogy cases, where the Supreme Court of Canada essentially said, hey, we want to cap pain and suffering at 100 grand Canadian, which now is about 440,000 Canadian. But we do get large verdicts sometimes. I mean, I think the largest verdict for an auto case in Canada is about 13 million. But you build up those cases on the future loss of income and the future cost of care claims, so they're not as large as some lawyers I know in the Trucking Association. They'll get $600 million. We don't see those kind of judgments here in Canada.
Are these types of lawsuits decided by a jury or a judge?
In Canada, you talking about? Yeah, no, in Canada, we have a right to a jury trial in Alberta. There's not a lot of civil jury trials run in Alberta. Essentially, they're bench only, sort of a judge hearing them. So obviously, when you have a judge, being a former lawyer and also trained in the judiciary aspect of being a judge, you get the pendulum swings less than in the jury, because judges can be swayed by emotion, but they also have practicality. They're trained as judges. They know, there has to be consistency across Canada from Victoria to St. John's, Newfoundland, of consistency of judgments. And, they don't want to, have these nuclear verdicts in Canada, but, they do want to put the person that, he or she was in before the accident in the same position. So, they want to still serve justice, but they know they need to have consistency across Canada in the way cases on civil cases like injury cases are awarded.
We often hear the term made whole. Can you talk about how somebody in Canada can be made whole if they're hurt in a case like this?
Well, I mean, every case differs. I mean, obviously, if I was in an accident and I walk away, or you're in an accident, you're quadriplegic, we all react to injury and losses differently. I mean, that's what's the beauty of humans is, there's 8 billion people in the world, and, we may react differently. Our body may react differently to an injury. But, in Canada, an injured person is entitled to be in the same position he or she was before the accident, not to be undercompensated and not to be overcompensated. But all cases are different. Like, how much money will the person get for pain and suffering? How much money will the person get for past loss of income, future loss of income? And a big number always is future cost of care. Do they need the treatment or medications to be able to function like they did before the accident with the injury that they're having permanently dealing with since the accident?
What questions should somebody ask when they're going in to hire a lawyer?
Well, I mean, first of all, you probably should figure out if the person that you want has the experience to litigate the case. Do they are they knowledgeable in the area? Do they know what they're going to be doing? Secondly, do they have the resources? I mean, unfortunately, when we do litigate a case in Canada, it could be 5 to 10 years until there's resolution by way of settlement, mediation, or trial. It takes a lot of resources to, uh, litigate these personal injury cases across Canada, especially in Alberta. So I think the important thing is, experience. Do they have experience? Do they have knowledge? And do they have the resources? And the other thing is do they have the dedication? Are they going to be persistent with the case, even if the other side, defense lawyer, puts a bunch of applications, sort of like roadblocks in the way to get to a mediation or a trial? So you have to be, have to have perseverance to litigate cases. And it's not for everybody, but I mean, I've been doing this for over 23 years. It's my life. I understand it can be very rewarding, but it also can be very advocacy, where you're scrapping or fighting with the other lawyer to get the case settled at mediation or trial. So I think that's really important for a person to understand those four qualities: experience, knowledge, dedication, and the resources.
All right, Steve, some great advice. Thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you, Christine. And thanks for your questions. And hopefully, you have a great day.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks for watching today's episode of Ask the Lawyer. We were talking with Steve Grover. If you have a specific question, make sure to call that number there on your screen. Thanks for watching Ask the Lawyers.